You know, sometimes this life can get rough. You get knocked down, but you gotta get up. Keep going.
Hello and welcome to this 261 Fearless Empowerment Talk. Thank you very much for joining us. It's really good to have you here. Now, if you don't already know, 261 Fearless is a global network that uses running to unite and empower women all around the world. Now, we really believe that education is key to empowerment. So alongside our internal education programs for club directors and coaches, we really like to use our global platform to speak to all women. Our series of empowerment talks gives us the opportunity to speak to some incredible women and be inspired by them. We have women who are in roles of leadership and influence in the world of business, sport, health, and more. Now, today's guest is a little bit different for us. Today, we're speaking to Vino Subramanian. Vino is one of our coaches at 261 Club UK. She leads the Newcastle group. Now, Vino is the founder and owner of Dia Wellness, which is a natural handmade wellness brand in Newcastle upon Tyne. She left the legal profession 11 years ago and said she realized that true wellness can only be achieved when physical, mental, and emotional well-being are nurtured and taken care of. Now, she grew up in a traditional South Asian family and says that she was inspired by her cultural roots and rituals to create a self-care brand that reconnects those elements of ancient Indian recipes and rituals to modern lifestyles. So we're going to be exploring Vino's journey into starting her own business, what that takes, what she's learned along the way, and we're also going to see how her connection to 261 Fearless may have helped her. So welcome, Vino.
Good morning, Juliet. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's really lovely to have you here. I'm looking forward very much to finding out more about how you've created this beautiful brand and the things that you've learned along the way. And I would really like to start at the beginning, actually, and I'd like to start with your family, because as I mentioned, you told me that the root of your brand actually stems from your upbringing and your South Asian culture. So I would like to know, well, let's start with, what were you like as a child? Is it the Vino we see now, or were you very different?
Sorry, Juliet. Sorry. I need to charge the laptop. Sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry. So I would really like to start at the beginning, if that's okay. You mentioned that your brand was inspired by your upbringing and your South Asian roots. So I would really like to understand the influence of your family, and perhaps let's begin with what you were like as a child. Is it the Vino we see today, or were you very different?
As a child, I was a very happy child. I enjoyed school. I enjoyed being creative, but I didn't like sports. I enjoyed being in nature because I grew up in a small village surrounded by nature. So I really enjoy being in nature. So yeah, very similar to who I am now.
Oh, that's wonderful that you've not changed too much. And
not too much.
And your values, what values did your family life instill into you?
So my family, they've taught me so many beautiful values. And among them are things like, being in nature. They taught me to be respectful of nature. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to teach my children as a mother. So growing up in nature was just very beautiful. But at that time, I didn't really appreciate that so much. But now as a mother, I am beginning to appreciate all the values that they have taught me, and I'm trying to pass it on to my children. we made do with what we had without creating any waste. We recycled and used the things that we had. So that's another value that I like to pass on to my children as well. And I'm trying my best to do that and doing little projects with my children, trying to recycle and upcycle things. The other thing that my parents taught me is to be helpful. They found joy in uplifting others. So my dad always told me that you don't have to have clothes to be able to help others. You can help others with whatever you have. So they have always encouraged me to help and support others whenever we can. So I try to do that whenever I can. So
Wonderful.
these are the beautiful values that they have taught me, and I'm trying to pass it on to my children.
Yeah. You mentioned a little bit about your dad there. Was there
Yeah.
any other, or was there one family member in particular who you feel shaped who you are today?
I think my family as a whole, I am who I am because of them. They have taught me so much, and they gave me my dad, my mom. They gave me wings to fly. They gave me the opportunities that they didn't have. So I'm very grateful for that. Um, so overall, everything that I've learned, not just from my parents, my grandparents, my family, I still have it in me, and I try to put them together, and I try to. I always actually remind me of those values and the things that I enjoyed growing up with.
Fantastic. Oh, that's lovely. And from that childhood, I'm going to skip forward a little bit to thinking about starting your own business. Why did you, when and why did you decide to do that?
So I came to the UK to pursue my studies, did my studies, and then got a job and started working in the legal industry for 11 years. After about 11 years, I realized that my work-life balance was slowly fading away. And I thought it was time for me to spend a bit more time looking after myself and looking after the well-being of my family. So it was a hard decision, but it had to be done. So I did it. And looking back, I'm grateful and I'm happy that I did it. So me deciding that I want to look after my well-being, the well-being of my family and myself. So it did take me a while I was figuring out what to do next, while I was finding my next challenge. I was also working with my husband for a bit. So he started a new company and I was helping him with the company. So I learned loads about management, managing people, setting up a company. So, and also my husband is really brilliant. He really encouraged me to set up my own business. Seeing him progress and doing well in his business really, really inspired me to do something by myself. But the next question was, what was I going to do? So while I was in that period where I was just trying to figure out what to do next, um, all the things that my parents taught me, the values and the rituals that they taught me, things that I enjoyed, everything started coming back to me because I had that time when I was trying to figure out my next challenge. I had the time to slowly think about things and reflect, and everything went back to the basic, what I enjoyed as a child. So I thought of bringing all that back, but as a business. So I do still practice all the rituals that my mom has taught me, like massaging the hair with oil. Every Saturday, she will come with some oil and massage my hair to calm the body and mind. She'll make a face mask with some turmeric from the garden, from coconut oil from grandfather's farm. So all fresh, natural ingredients. So we'll just put everything. There was no going to the shop to get a packet of coconut oil or anything like that. It was just all very fresh from the garden itself. So so I thought, why not just bring all these back, but as a business, but make some adaptation to the modern living. Because I also remember, like when I was little, and mom used to come and massage my hair with castor oil, sesame oil. Even though I enjoyed the benefits of the oil, I did find some of the oil being a bit sticky and greasy. So when I wanted to start my own business, I wanted to make some changes to make it more modern, with some modern touch, which is more practical for our modern living. So I had that in mind, and that's how I slowly started with the lockdown happened, um, and that gave me the time and the opportunity to put everything together. And Dia was born in November 2020. So we are going to be 3 years
Fantastic.
this month. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
So you said you'd got some experience from working in your husband's business and you'd had time to figure out exactly what you wanted to create. But I imagine, maybe I'm wrong, but that you were a little bit scared. And I'm wondering what your biggest fear was.
So my biggest fear was failing. I was scared to fail, especially coming from a corporate world and then not knowing what to do next, and then starting your own business and going in an industry that's totally not familiar to me at all. So that was my biggest fear. But then I had the support from my family, my friends, and I just followed my heart and went with it. And I'm happy that I did it.
I bet, yeah, and proud as well.
Yes.
What kind of challenges have you met along the way? I can't imagine it's all been plain sailing.
No, lots of hiccups all on the way. Every day is a new adventure for a small business owner like me. So it has been challenging, but so far it has been wonderful. Lots of challenges. Each day brings a different challenge. So when I first started, it was more about setting up the business, learning about setting up the business. And as I was setting up a wellness business, I had to learn more about wellness, about product making, and because I still make the products in my kitchen, and the procedure of making it. And the thing is, at the beginning, I wasn't really sure, because when you are making a product for your own self, it's a really simple. You make the ingredients that you like and you use it, and that's about it. But then when you want to put it on the market, it's a totally different game. You have to you have to comply to the requirements and have the labeling done properly. So there are a lot of rules and regulations to be followed. So I have to first of all sit down and spend many days studying the regulations to make sure I'm doing it right. So for me, it's very important to, if you want to do something, you have to do it right from the beginning. So I follow all the regulations and make sure I'm complying with the rules. So that had to be done. And setting up the business as well, coming up with the labeling, the name, your ethos, your principle, what is your brand is going to be about. So all these were the challenges that I faced at the beginning. And then later on, it was about starting an online business, trying to sell online. And then after that, I had to step out of my comfort zone and come out and do some events, because I realized just by doing online sales, that's not really going to push the brand. So I had to drag myself out, start doing some markets, and then show my face, speak to people. And people have been lovely. Customers have been really supportive. So that gave me more encouragement to do more events, bigger events. And from there, I started doing workshops. So started growing a little bit more in terms of marketing. So now I think the challenge for me, we are in our third year, I'm going to be in our third year. So the next challenge for me is to grow the business and to promote the brand, and also to keep creating interesting, beautiful products. So that's the other thing that I need to keep going with as well. So lots of challenges, but challenges are good to keep going. And so far it has been a really wonderful journey.
And have you managed to do all this and still keep living the life the way you want with your family and spending time with the children, etc.?
Yes. Yes. So yes, I can say yes for now. At the moment, yes. But when I first started, it was a little bit tricky, in the sense that I wasn't really sure of finding the balance. I was not brave enough to say no to events that I thought it's not going to really work out to me. I just went for everything. I wanted to grab all the opportunities. So I was spending lots of time going for events and doing products, and also getting slightly distracted from the ethos of my brands when I see other big brands, like when I see something exciting from another brand and you want to do it, you want to try to achieve it. And then I think about after a year, I slowly realized that it is so important for me to stick to the ethos of my brand, what Dia is about. So sticking to the brand, not getting distracted, doing what you do, and serving your customers is really important. So once I figured that out, I'm able to reduce wasting time on other things that's not going to bring in more sales or help me grow my business. So that's one of the things that I've learned as well. And I think I'm also a bit braver now to say no to things that I think is not going to work for my brand. Instead of just going for the sake of going and showing my face. So I'm a bit braver picking and choosing the events and opportunities that I think is not is going to work for, only going for the ones that's going to work for me. So with that, I'm able to balance my life a bit more and spending more time with my children and family.
Fantastic. That sounds like a real journey of learning that you need to be focused and
that's right.
Yeah, gaining confidence and realizing it's okay to say no to things.
Yeah. And I think that can only come with experience. So I'm glad that I'm still learning, but I've learned this bit already, which is good. So lots more to learn.
Fabulous. I'd like to just move slightly and just talk about 261 Fearless, if that's okay. I'm just wondering at what point in your journey you got involved with your local 261 group. Can you fill us in on that bit?
Yeah, sure. I always say that 261 and Dia came at the correct time, just perfect time when I needed it in my life. So I'm a believer that everything falls into, when the time is right, the correct thing will come to you and everything will come together nicely. So that's exactly what happened when I was searching for my next adventure, next challenge. That's when Dia came, and that's when running came as well. So the first question when you asked me as a child, how was I like, what did I do? So I said, I enjoyed doing lots of things, but not sports. Never been sporty in my younger days. The only sport that I played with my family was badminton. That's it. No running, not much sports in school at all. So when in my late 30s, I decided that I want to get fit, try to be a bit more active, try to do a bit of sports. So I started joining the gym, doing a bit of yoga, a bit of workout. So that's how it slowly started. So when I turned 40, I told myself that I want to do a bit of running. So I started doing a little bit of run, just around the block, nothing much. So this is how it all started. And then my friend Azeret approached me one day, and she said, invited me to join a running club. At that time, I didn't know anything about 261. I didn't know about Catherine. I didn't know anything about it. So she invited me. She said, I'm teaming up with Claire Dixon, and they're starting a running club only for women. It's a non-competitive. So when I heard the word non-competitive, I thought, okay, this is for me. And she said, why don't you come and support me? And I went, just not knowing what to expect, went for it, and I absolutely enjoyed the first session. And I thought, this is for me. And after that, I make it a point to go for a run every Friday. Started enjoying my fitness, my running routine with them, and I started enjoying meeting people, all the members. So it went on for a year like that. And I could see the difference. In that 1 year, we did a few park runs, we did a few fun runs together. So it was just brilliant. And I thought, that is the club for me. And I just continued my journey with 261 as a member.
And then you stepped up to become a coach. So from not liking running to just going along, discovering actually this was quite good. And you took the next step up to help other women in the group. What What motivated you to do that?
So as I said, I went in not knowing what to expect. I went in just to do one run away. That's about it. It was never my plan to be a coach. But Azeret had to move for her next adventure to Cumbria, and they needed someone to step up and become a coach. So me and Claire Humble were approached. And at that time, Azeret and Claire Dixon were the coaches who were leading the sessions at the Newcastle club. So they approached us and they said, why don't you consider taking up this role? So I still remember me asking them this. We had a little meeting and I said to them, there are so many more experienced members in the club. So in my head, what I was thinking is these experienced members will be able to support and help the other members a bit more as a coach. They will be able to offer them more than what I could offer because of the lack of experience I've had at that time. So I was reluctant. So they told me then that is exactly why I need to apply for the role. So I came back and then thought about it. So and then once it became clear to me, it was a very easy decision for me to say yes. So once I knew, when I thought about it, and once it became clear to me that what 261 is about, who are the people that we are actually trying to help for the women, who are our target group. So once it became clear to me, then I thought, me joining the group as a coach would be a representation. I would be representing someone who has just taken embarked on their fitness journey at a later age. Fitness didn't come to me when I was younger. It only came to me in my late 30s, early 40s. So you can still do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can still do it. So I thought, to prove that point, I think I should take up the role, and that's how I become a coach at 261 Plaza.
Fantastic. And I know that you inspire and help lots of the women in your group to carry on with their fitness and running journey. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
In terms of, if people are listening and thinking, maybe I could be a coach, what was it like? What was the experience of training as a coach? How did that go?
It was very smooth, very straightforward, and supported. It was very, very supportive. Because like what I said, with very little experience in running, I was just starting my running journey. So I was afraid, I wanted to support the members, not just doing a run with them, but supporting them. So I was afraid that I won't be able to give that. But then when I attended the training, I knew that I was going to get all the support from the other coaches, from the club. So that gave me a lot of confidence, knowing that I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to be a part of a big community here. So there's no reason to be afraid. So the training did give me a lot of confidence, and also it was very smooth and very straightforward.
What do you enjoy about your role as a coach now? You've been doing it for quite a long time.
Yeah. I love everything about being a 261 coach. It's amazing. I look forward to going for a run with my members. And I've met so many lovely people, not just members, but also other coaches. We have annual gatherings, we have empowerment talks. So I have, now I can say that I have friends from different parts of, I have, sorry, I've got loads of friends from different parts of the country. So we are like a family. So it's really nice. And also the other thing is seeing a member's journey is also it's really amazing as well. So sometimes we get experienced learner coming and training once in, whenever they can. And sometimes we get members who have never run before, a bit reluctant to step out of their comfort zone, coming and doing a run, and to see their progress is just amazing. So seeing them doing so well gives you loads of confidence and also the satisfaction, and it actually empowers you to do better.
Well, that ties into what I was going to ask you, actually. I'm seeing those members improve empowers you and yourself.
Yeah.
And how has being part of 261 Fearless, from as a member through to being a coach, how has that helped you in your work life?
In my work life, from a member to a coach, it has given me loads of confidence. And also, what I realize is, since becoming a coach, what I realize is I want to support them. So I'm learning more as well. So like what I said, 261 often give, they also organize empowerment talks as well. So with the empowerment talks, I learn loads from there. So, and besides that, I do a bit of reading and, other videos and so on fitness as well. So I try to learn as much as I can to help the others. And when I talk about my wellness brand, to me, wellness is not just about, pampering yourself, it's obviously all the self-care ritual comes in, but also it's so important to look after your physical fitness as well. So physical, your mental well-being, and also your emotional well-being. I always say to my customers, as a owner of a wellness brand, I always encourage them to look after all these aspects of their life to have a balanced well-being journey. So fitness, wellness, mental well-being, and also emotional wellness. So when it comes to physical fitness, it's really important for you to get out and do some exercise. So I think as a coach, I want to encourage that. So I go out myself and do a lot of runs, and I do my exercises as well. So that I can actually bring it to my brand and encourage my customers and help them to look after their fitness as well.
And how about in terms of confidence? Or you mentioned at quite early on that it was a big thing for you to step up and take your brand out to events. Yes. Has being a coach and having to lead a group, has that helped kind of with your business too?
Yes, definitely. So as a member, you just join in the run and game and join in the games. It's always a fun session. But as a coach, you need to plan your session and you have to lead the session. You have to make sure that you're giving correct instructions. So all that definitely helped me in terms of my work, where I have to go and do events and now even workshops. So it is a big step up for me. For me to come out of my comfort zone and to be there standing and talking in front of that many people is something. It was a it is I still struggle, but then I'm getting there. So being a coach has definitely helped me with that.
Fantastic. Let's celebrate your successes. What would you say is your biggest business success to date?
Business success. So we're going to be 3, and it has been an amazing journey. And this year especially has been superb. So many different projects. I've managed to work with different people as well. So many ideas. So it has all been amazing. But the one that I'm really proud of, I'm proud of all the projects, but this one is a special one to me. So I got this email from Peloton asking for bath salts and body oils for their International Women's Day event in March this year. So I had a phone call with them, sent them some samples, and they picked my strengthening blend for the event. And my strengthening, I love all my blends, but the strengthening blend is a special one to me because the blend was created by me for myself to support my fitness journey. So, and it has got turmeric, it has got black pepper, it has got lychee. So all the things that that I love, that I grew up enjoying. So I've included all that. And I created that because, like what I said, my fitness journey only started a bit later. And I started enjoying, my body started enjoying the fitness journey, and my mind started enjoying the runs. And I wanted to keep going, but at the same time, I was a little bit afraid that of injuries, that I wanted to carry on. So I didn't want any injuries. So I knew that it was really important for me to look after myself, in able to enjoy all the exercises that I would like to do. So for that, I created the oil blend and the salt blend as salt blend to support my fitness journey, and that's what I've been using. So when Peloton selected that blend, I was over the moon, and I got a chance to go down to London and actually witness my products being offered to the members in their goodie bags. And also, they did have a display as well with my products in their London studio. So that was just amazing.
Exciting. So, thinking about people that are watching this that are like, oh, she managed to start her own business. What do you think holds women back from starting their own businesses?
I would say maybe fear of failing, confidence. And what I would say, since I've started this business, I realized that there's a lot of help out there, from other small businesses, from council, from different organizations. So if you're thinking about starting a business, you've got an idea, go for it and get all the help you can. I don't think I would have managed to be here if not because of some of the help and support that I've got. So with that, it's manageable, and you can overcome some of the challenges with the support that you can get as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So from drawing together a lot of what you said, it's striking me that the role of other people in your life has been important. The role of your family at the beginning, yeah. The role of the club members and network of other coaches, and then now you're saying the small business community and the help that's available to you. So that's really struck me as we've talked through this, that of course it's about your personal journey and learning, but you haven't been afraid to let other people into your journey as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. It's my journey, but I've been supported throughout this journey from young, like what you said, family, friends. So I'm very lucky in that sense that I've got all these beautiful people with me to support me, to encourage me. And I think these people that I've got, they believe in me more than I do. So so it's just amazing to have that support. Family, friends, and my community. Like when you're a small business owner, you are not part of a big company. You don't have colleagues to bounce your ideas. So when I go for my mid runs, all my 261 members know about my business. So they ask me questions about it. They'll ask me about events that I've gone for. They'll promote my brand and products to their friends, not just my members, my other coaches as well. So I've got that support. So so when you don't have that the colleague that you can bounce ideas with, but when you go for a midnight and then you're talking to them, they are actually my colleagues. They are my people. So I'm glad that I've got that support. And also other small business friends as well. I've met so many friends, small business owners who are now I can say my friends now. Again, there's no competition. We encourage each other. So it's just really beautiful. Just a very supportive community. And I'm so glad I'm part of this big community, which is everyone's giving lots of love and support.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing to hear. And we see a world more divided than ever, to know that there are these wonderful pockets of community. So thank you, Vino, for sharing your journey. I think it's quite incredible to see and hear how far you've come, how many times you've stepped out of your comfort zone, and continue to do so, and how well you're doing. So congratulations for that. And thank you very much for sharing your journey with us.
Oh, thank you, Julia. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my journey with you all.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.